Okay, so this is going to be lesson 32, all the probability models. So it's going through and giving you an example of how to make a prediction. So there's 250 vehicles. You can figure out how many types of vehicles for 1,000, and this is based off of using these different proportions. So they're giving you the different, very different possibilities of what you could use, what the proportions could look like when you're solving for x. They have them all the way through here using x, and so these are the different proportions that you would write. If a student had collected data on 1,000 vehicles, there would be 200 two-door, 240. So basically they went through and they finished all of these proportions to be able to tell you how many for 1,000. So there's different methods to solve these always. Some people use the denominator and figure out that this is 4 times more. I usually multiplied the denominator they want by the numerator and then divide by the denominator. Okay, and then an example would be 1,000 times 50 divided by 250. I just took the example that was right here, the proportion, and put it there. How can you check that your predictions are correct? You can find just finding the total. So adding all these up, they better equal 1,000. So adding all vehicles up to make sure they reach the same proportion. Okay, the sum is 1,000. All right, on the back, a dog show has 6 small dogs, 12 medium, 6 large. What is the probability that it will be a small dog? So I already know that there's this, and then I have to find the total to be able to answer this question. So I'm going to do 12 plus 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 12 is 24. So there's 24 dogs in the whole show, and 6 are small dogs. So my reasoning would be that 6 out of 24 is the probability, because there are 6 dogs. Because there are 6 small dogs and 24 dogs total. What is the probability that the dog chosen at random is not a large dog? So the not in here is super important. It's basically saying you're taking the large dog out of it. You're doing subtraction. So if there's 24 dogs total, you have to subtract the large dogs, which is 6. So 24 minus 6, when you have 24 minus 6, you get 18. And then so the probability is 18 over 24 because 18 dogs are not large, and there are 24 dogs total. Sam spins the spinner 24 times and gets this result. We know that because when you add all this up, you get 24, so that works out. If you were to spin it 1,200 times, predict the number of times he would get each color. Okay, so we're just taking and then we're filling in this on the top for each. This will always be x. So I'll start with 10, but I'm also going to have 6 over 24 equals x over 1,200. I'm also going to have 8 over 24 equals x over 1,200. Okay, and then we're going to do my way where we multiply across, then divide. So we're going to bring in the calculator again, because we've got 1,200 times 10 equals 12,000 divided by 24 equals 500. So 500 red. Next we have yellow. So we're going to use 6 times 1200. 1200 times 6 equals 7200 divided by 24 equals 300. So we've got 300 yellow. And last but not least, we got green. So we're going to multiply these two. 1200 times 8 equals that divided by, so 9600. You always want to show your work so teacher can see how you did this. So divided by 24, we got 400 green. All right. And then Esperanza rolls a number cube and gets a 6 8 times. Based on this experiment, she thinks if she rolls it 1600 times, so she gets a 6 8 times. But if she rolls it, then she thinks she'll get a 640. I just want to know that these are connected. But 1600 times total. So then we have to figure out how much she rolled in the beginning. So what we don't know is this bottom number here. So really she got 6 8 times. And then she says 640 out of 1600. Okay, so she did all the work. You just don't know how many times it was rolled the first time in order to have all the 6s that she got. So we'll still multiply like this and then divide this direction. So we got 1600 times 8 equals 12,800. And then we're going to divide that by 640. So 12,800 divided by 640. I could take the zeros off to make it easier. 1280 divided by 64 is 20. She rolled the cube 20 times in her experiment. Okay, and there's 333 and 334.